Hello students, in this video we will discuss the air vessels. What is the need of the air vessel in reciprocating pump? So first we need to know what is air vessel. An air vessel is a closed chamber containing compressed air in top portion and liquid or water at the bottom of the chamber. At the base of the chamber, there is an opening through which the liquid or the water may flow into the vessel or out from the vessel. When the liquid enters the air vessel, when the liquid enters the air vessel, the air gets compressed further, and when the liquid flows out the vessel, the air will expand in the chamber. So, liquid can enter or exit from the air vessel according to our need, and at that time the air gets compressed or expand according to the situation of the fluid. An air vessel is fitted to the suction pipe or delivery pipe at the point close to the cylinder of a single acting reciprocating pump. The main purpose of the air vessel in reciprocating pump is to obtain a continuous supply of liquid at a uniform rate. To supply to obtain a continuous supply of liquid at a uniform rate, and to save a considerable amount of work in overcoming the frictional resistance in the suction and delivery pipes. And the main purpose of the air vessel is to run the pump at high speed without the separation. This is the line diagram of single acting reciprocating pump. These two are the air vessels which we had fitted in the suction pipe and delivery pipe. Air vessels are fitted to the suction and delivery pipe. These air vessels act like an intermediate reservoir. During the first half of the suction stroke, when the piston moves with acceleration, we had discussed about the acceleration head and retardation head in the suction stroke and delivery stroke previously, so we will not discuss it again. So what I'm saying, that during the first half of the suction stroke, when the piston moves with acceleration, which means the velocity of water in the suction pipe is more than the mean velocity. What I am saying, that during the first half of the suction stroke, when the piston moves with acceleration, it means at that time velocity of water in the suction pipe will be more than its mean velocity. If the velocity will be maximum, or you can say if velocity is more than the mean velocity, it means discharge of water entering the cylinder will be more than the mean discharge. If discharge is more, it means the excess quantity of water will be supplied from the air vessel to the cylinder. If the velocity is more than the mean velocity, it means during the first half of the stroke, cylinder needs more water than the mean discharge. Cylinder required more discharge than the mean discharge. So this excess quantity of water will be supplied from the air vessel to the cylinder. During this excess quantity is supplied by the air vessel to the cylinder in such a way that the velocity in the suction pipe below the air vessel is equal to mean velocity of flow. This is the main point of this air vessel, that when excess quantity of water will be supplied from the air vessel, at that time velocity in the suction pipe below the air vessel is equal to mean velocity of flow. I am telling about this part of the suction pipe. In this pipe below this air vessel, in this pipe, velocity of flow will become equal to the mean velocity of the water. During the second half of the stroke, piston moves with retardation. During the second half of the stroke, piston moves with the retardation, and hence velocity of flow in the suction pipe is less than the mean velocity of flow. So, the discharge entering the cylinder will be less than the mean discharge. Discharge entering the cylinder will be less than the mean discharge. So, the velocity of water in the suction pipe due to air vessel is equal to mean velocity of flow, and discharge required in cylinder is less than the mean discharge. At that time, the excess water flowing in suction pipe will be stored into the air vessel, which will be supplied during the first half of the next suction stroke. This is the main working of the air vessel, that it stored the water when required discharge is less than the mean discharge, and it supply the water when required discharge is more than the mean discharge. Similarly, the working of the air vessel is same in delivery pipe. When the air vessel is fitted to the delivery pipe, so during the first half of delivery stroke, the piston moves with acceleration and forces the water into the delivery pipe with a velocity more than the mean velocity. The quantity of water in excess of the mean discharge will flow into the air vessel. This will compress the air inside the vessel, and during the second half of the delivery stroke, the piston moves with retardation. So the velocity of water in the delivery pipe will be less than the mean velocity. At that time, water already stored into the air vessel will start flowing into the delivery pipe, and the velocity of flow in the delivery pipe beyond the point to which air vessel is fitted. It means the pipe, or you can say the point where I am talking about, that part of the delivery pipe on which, or you can say the part which is beyond the point on which air vessel is fitted, will become equal to the mean velocity. What I am saying, that the delivery point beyond the point to which air vessel is fitted will become equal to the mean velocity. Hence, the rate of flow of water in delivery pipe will be uniform. So, the main purpose of the air vessel is to maintain the uniformity of the water in suction and delivery pipe during the acceleration and retardation in the suction and delivery stroke. Now, we will discuss the analysis part of the air vessel. Let capital A is equal to cross sectional area of the cylinder. Small a is cross sectional area of the pipes. These are some notations. LD is equal to length of delivery pipe beyond the air vessel. LD dash is equal to length of delivery pipe between cylinder and air vessel. LS dash is equal to length of suction pipe between cylinder and air vessel. LS, length of suction pipe below air vessel. HAD, pressure head due to acceleration in delivery pipe. HAS, pressure head due to acceleration in suction pipe. HFD, loss of head due to friction in delivery pipe beyond the air vessel. HFD dash is equal to loss of head due to friction in delivery pipe between cylinder and air vessel. HFS, loss of head due to friction in suction pipe below the air vessel, and HFS dash is equal to loss of head due to friction in suction pipe between cylinder and air vessel. So the effect of acceleration will be observed only in the length of LD dash and LS dash. What is LD dash? Length of delivery pipe between cylinder and air vessel, because beyond that point air vessel will maintain the uniformity of flow. So you can say that the effect of acceleration will be observed only in the length LD dash and LS dash, which may be made very small by fitting air vessels very close to the cylinder. So the velocity of flow of water in the length LD and LS will be equal to the mean velocity of flow. For a single acting discharge per second is given by the equation, that is Q is equal to ALN by 60, where L is equal to stroke length. What will be the mean velocity? Mean velocity is equal to discharge divided by area of the pipe. Mean velocity in pipe is equal to discharge upon area of pipe. Discharge is Q, that is ALN by 60 upon A. We can write n 60 omega upon 2 pi, because omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60. After solving of this equation, we get mean velocity capital A upon small a omega r upon pi. So the velocity of water in the suction or delivery pipe for the length LS dash or LT dash due to acceleration and retardation of the piston is given by this, that is capital A by A omega r sine omega t. We had derived this equation previously. We can write omega t as theta. Now we have to calculate pressure head in the cylinder during their delivery stroke. How we will calculate this? The pressure head due to acceleration in the delivery pipe LD dash, that is between air vessel and cylinder, is given by this equation. This equation we had discussed many times. Loss of head due to friction in delivery pipe is given as 4FL V square upon 2 dg, where L is equal to the length between the air vessel and the cylinder, where for delivery pipe V is capital A upon AD omega r sine theta, where D is the diameter of the delivery pipe. HFD 4FL V square upon 2 dg. So we put the value of V from here to here in this equation. After solving this equation, we get the value of 4FLD 2 dg, losses of head due to friction in the delivery pipe for the length beyond the air vessel. When after the air vessel, when there is no effect of friction, that is 4FL V square upon 2 dg, where this V is the mean velocity in delivery pipe, that is capital A upon AD omega r upon pi. This formula we had derived in previous slide. So we get the value of HFT. It means the frictional head beyond the air vessel. This is the frictional head beyond the air vessel, and this is the frictional head between the cylinder and the air vessel. So the pressure head in the cylinder during the delivery stroke. At the beginning of the delivery stroke, when theta is equal to 0, it means sine theta is equal to 0, cos theta is equal to 1. So the total pressure head will become HD plus HAD plus HFD plus HFT dash plus velocity head at the outlet of the delivery. HD is the delivery head, HAD is the at the beginning of the stroke, because theta is equal to 0, so acceleration head affect the delivery stroke, that is HAD. HFT dash is the frictional head between the air vessel and the cylinder, and HFD is the frictional head beyond the air vessel plus velocity head at the outlet of the delivery. So the value of HFT will become 0. This is the value of HD. This is the value of HAD, that is the friction, that is the acceleration head plus HFD dash, yeah, it means frictional head will become 0, and the frictional head beyond the pipe, beyond the air vessel where mean velocity is flowing, that is 4FL. This is a v square. V square is the mean velocity upon 2dg. It means the pipe length between the air vessel and the cylinder, there is no frictional head, but the length on which mean velocity is working, the value of the frictional head is 4FLV square upon 2dg plus Vd square by 2g. Vd is the mean velocity, that is A by small ad omega square pi ka whole square. So after solving this equation, we get the value of the pressure head in the cylinder at the beginning. In the middle of the stroke, when theta is equal to 90 degree, it means sin theta is equal to 1, cos theta is equal to 0. It means frictional head will affect the stroke, but acceleration head will not affect the stroke. So this is the general formula, that is HD HFT dash plus HFT plus Vd square by 2g. Value of HD will remain same, acceleration head will become 0. The value of HFT will be this, because acceleration head affect this point, and the value of frictional head beyond the pipe is equal to 4FL V square upon 2dg, where this V is the mean velocity plus Vd square by 2g. This is same. After solving this equation, we get the value of the pressure head at the middle of the stroke. This equation reflects the effect of the air vessel, how air vessel will affect the pressure head in suction stroke and delivery stroke. Similarly, at the end of the stroke, where theta is equal to 180, so sin theta will become 0. It means there is no effect of frictional head, but the effect of acceleration can be seen, but in negative manner. So you can see that the value of the equation will become like this, where the acceleration head will become negative. So what I can say, that there is no need to learn all these formula. You have to understand the concept behind it, that how the value of pressure head changes with the value of theta. Theta plays a very major role in the values of pressure head, so no need to learn all these formulas. You just understand the effect of the crank revolution on the pressure head in suction pipe and delivery pipe. Similarly, you can calculate the pressure head in the cylinder during the suction stroke. During the suction stroke, you know, this is the formula of the acceleration head in suction pipe. This is the formula of the friction head in suction length, Ls dash, where Ls dash is the length between the cylinder and the air vessel. Mean velocity you can calculate with this formula, which we had discussed in last slide. So the HF is, it means this is the frictional head between the cylinder and air vessel, and this is the frictional losses beyond the air vessel where mean velocity is working. This is the mean velocity. V bar S is the mean velocity. Similarly, you can calculate the pressure head at the beginning, where theta is equal to 0. It means sin theta 0. If theta is equal to 0, so HAS, it means acceleration head will work on, will affect the suction stroke. HF is dash, it means frictional head will not affect it, this value is 0, but the frictional head beyond the air vessel will affect, because here only mean velocity is working and the velocity at outlet, velocity head at outlet, that is 1 by 2g. This is the mean velocity. This is the equation at the beginning of the stroke. Similarly, at the middle of the stroke, when theta is equal to 90, theta 90, it means there is no frictional head. At theta is equal to 90 degree, sin theta is equal to 1. It means there is no acceleration head. Acceleration head is 0. Frictional head affect the pipe. This is the value of the frictional head. Between air vessel and cylinder, this is the frictional head beyond the air vessel where mean velocity is working, and this is velocity head at outlet of the suction pipe. Similarly, at the end of the stroke where theta is equal to 180 degree, it means sin theta 0. Sin theta 0, it means there is no effect of frictional head. Cos theta is equal to minus 1, it means acceleration head will affect the pressure but in negative manner, and you can see that this is the value of the acceleration head but in negative manner. So this is the equation, this is the pressure head at the end of the stroke. These quantities are very small. This quantity ls by g, a by as, omega square r, this quantity is very small, or this quantity is very small because this is the r value is the crank radius is also very small, so you can neglect these quantities during the time of the calculation. So you saw the effect of friction and acceleration after the using of air vessel in suction and delivery pipe. Now we will discuss work done by reciprocating pump with air vessel. How air vessel affected the work done by reciprocating pump. Work done by reciprocating pump fitted with air vessel to the suction and delivery pipe is equal to weight of water discharged per second. Weight of water discharged per second, that is the work done by reciprocating pump in air vessel. So how we will calculate this? First we need to know what is the work done, because if air vessel affects the pressure head, so it will definitely affect the work done by reciprocating pump. So work done is equal to weight of water discharged per second into total height on which, or you can say total head on which reciprocating work have to work. So weight of water, what will be the weight of water? Weight of water will be rho g a ln by 60. We derived this formula previously. This is the weight of water discharged per second for a single acting pump, and what will be the head against which pump has to work? That is the suction head, delivery head, frictional head in suction pipe, frictional head in delivery pipe, velocity head at outlet of the suction pipe, velocity head at outlet of the delivery pipe. This is the frictional head in suction pipe between air vessel and cylinder. This is the frictional head in delivery pipe between air vessel and cylinder. Why we had taken 2 by 3 value? Because this is the parabolic function. This frictional head is the function of the parabola, which we had discussed in the last video, in which we had studied about the effect of frictional head on indicator diagram. So we will not discuss it again. So the value of HFS dash, HFT dash, Vs square by 2g and Vd square by 2g are very small. Why these values are very small? Because the length of the pipe between the cylinder and the air vessel is very small. That's why the head acting on those length also very small. So these quantities can be neglected. So work done per second will become rho g a ln by 60 hs plus ht plus hfs plus hfd. Now how the work saved by fitting the air vessel? Obviously air vessel saved the work. When we fit the air vessel in reciprocating pump, the work will be saved. How it will be saved? Now we will discuss it. So by fitting the air vessel, the head loss due to friction in suction and delivery pipe will be reduced. This reduction in the head loss save a certain amount of energy, which can be calculated by finding the work done against friction without air vessel and with air vessel. So first we need to calculate the work done without air vessel and with air vessel, then we can make a comparison between both of them. So first we will calculate work done against friction without air vessel. So consider, first you have to consider a single acting reciprocating pump without any air vessel on the pipe. The velocity of flow through the pipe is given by capital A omega r sin theta. Losses of head due to friction is given by the equation 4Fl, this V square upon 2dz. So the variation of Hs with theta is parabolic in nature. We had discussed about it previously. Hence, indicated diagram for the loss of head due to friction in pipe will be parabola. The work done by pump against friction per stroke is equal to the area of the indicated diagram due to this friction. We all know about this. So, work done by pump per stroke against friction, that is the area of the parabola, that is 2 by 3 into base into height. Base will be the L, that is the stroke length, and height is the frictional head, that is 4Fl, V square, that is A by A omega r upon 2dg. Sin theta, because frictional head acts only when theta is equal to 90 to sin theta is equal to 1. So this work done will become 2 by 3 L into 4Fl V square upon 2dg. This is the work done by pump per stroke against friction. Okay. Now we will calculate work done against friction with air vessel. With air vessel, the velocity will become the mean velocity. At that time, frictional head acts only at the length of Ls and Ld dash, which is the length between the air vessel and the cylinder. So the mean velocity is capital A upon A omega r upon pi. Losses of head due to friction is 4Fl V square upon 2dg. Here we put the value of this mean velocity here. Now the head loss due to friction with air vessel is independent of theta. You can say here work done, losses of head due to friction is independent of theta. There is no value of theta, hence indicated diagram will be a rectangle. So work done by pump per stroke against friction, that is area of rectangle, in which that is the base into height. Base will be the stroke length and the height will be this frictional head, that is FLV square upon 2dg. This will become the work done by pump per stroke against friction with air vessel. Now we need to calculate work saved in a single acting reciprocating pump. So we had calculated work done with air vessel, we had calculated work done, this is W1 is work done without air vessel, W2 is work done with air vessel. We subtract these two values and we will get this value. Now how much amount of work is reduced in percentage, that is W1 minus W2 upon W1. W1 is the work done without air vessel, W2 is the work done with air vessel. After calculation we put the value of W1 and W2 here, and after the calculation and after the simplification of this equation we get 84.8%. It means 84.8% work has been reduced after the uses of the air vessel in reciprocating pump. That's why air vessel plays a very important role in reciprocating pump, because it reduced the work up to 84.8% on the water. Similarly, we can calculate the work saved in double acting reciprocating pump. We all know that the work loss and friction per stroke in case of double acting reciprocating pump without air vessel is same as given in case of single acting reciprocating pump, that is 2 by 3 base, because this is the function of the sin theta, this is the function of the theta, which is parabolic in nature. So W1 will be 2 by 3 L, and this is the perpendicular height, that is 4Fl V. This V is A by A omega r sin theta upon 2dg. When the air vessel is fitted to pipe near the cylinder, at that time mean velocity for double acting pump will be Q by A. In case of double acting pump, the discharge will double of the single acting pump, that is 2 times ALN by 60. So mean velocity will become twice of the mean velocity in single acting pump. So losses of head due to friction in double acting 4FL V bar is square upon 2 dg. Here this V is the mean velocity. So we can calculate work done due to friction per stroke, that is area of the rectangle. It means when the air vessel is not fitted, this is the condition when air vessel is not fitted in the reciprocating pump, and this is the condition when we fit the air vessel in reciprocating pump. Here you can see that this frictional loss is not the function of parabola. So at that time the work done will be the area of the rectangle, whose area is the base into height. Base is the stroke length and this is the height. You get this value, and after the subtraction of W1 and W2 you can get the reduction of work after the uses of the air vessel, and after the simplification you get 39.2% work has been reduced in case of double acting reciprocating pump, and 84.8% work has been reduced after using the air vessel in a reciprocating pump. So after all these analysis you can say that air vessel plays a very important role in the reciprocating pump. Student, that's all for the topic reciprocating pump. I don't think any topic has been left. So all the best for your examinations. Thank you.